So Neil, can you sum up your thoughts after that disappointing game?
Need a bit more time probably again. Mirror image of Saturday really. You know, should have. I thought in terms of shape wise and game management, we looked like we learnt our lesson from previous weeks in terms of committing too many bodies forward and trying to kill the game off at 3-2. Shape was good, but the decision making to try and really put the game to bed at 4-2 from George and Jake, or from Jake really, has cost us. And then, you know, late on in the second half to go and get their equaliser, I think we just looked dead on our feet really, and the tackles going in to stop Theo Stair getting a shot off, you know, not strong enough, weak really, and you know, and again presented them with an opportunity rather than them really opening us up. And just bitterly disappointed again. You know, we're throwing away good leads that we've worked really hard to get into. 3-1 up, you know, against a really good Nantwich side who are going to be up there. And these opportunities, you know, they don't present themselves that often. Like Saturday, you know, 3-1 up, 4-2 up, 3-1 again today. And the slightest little error, I keep telling the lads, you get punished at the level. And we're playing against some good sides, some good individuals, and if you're not quite right and you switch off slightly, you get punished, and again we have been today.
The fact that Nantwich were clearly a very good team, does that make it slightly easier to take on Saturday?
Not really, no, because that's not the way we are. You know, again, I said to you Saturday, we're not a club, or we're not a squad that concedes goals easily. Having said that, we've conceded 7 in 48 hours, which at home, which, you know, I'm quite embarrassed about. I've got to be honest, more than angry, I'm embarrassed about it. I said to the boys before the game, I was embarrassed to concede 4 the way we did on Saturday, and I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed because we've let them back into it, and they haven't really opened us up second half. For all the possession they've had, they haven't really opened us up. I'm disappointed that our care of pass second half, when, you know, we looked threatening on the counter-attack, hasn't been better. We've you know, either kicked the ball out of play for throwing, or gave them the ball back too easily to allow them to get sustained pressure on us, and that's the disappointing part. The game management side and holding our shape, I think, was better. I got to be honest. You know, I look when Jake goes through with George on the 2v1 towards the end. I wasn't really looking at what they were doing. I was looking at what we were doing defensively, and we were right defensively. We were right, so that, you know, they took that on board. But the game management at the other end of the pitch has got to be better. You know, either go into the corner or make sure that you square it so that the 2v1 gives us the opportunity to finish the game off. You know, we've got to be doing better in those circumstances, because if not, like I say, the level, it punishes you.
You had the 2 injuries in the first half. Did that affect you in the second half? Because it obviously meant you didn't have the options to change the game.
Well, it does, doesn't it? And, you know, the players that come off are key players for us. And it limits your options a little bit later in the game when you're looking at it and think, you know, we can make a substitution to close the game out, or probably to change shape a little bit. So it does hamper you, but I'm not using that as an excuse. You know, it happened, and we have to get on with it. I thought we did more than enough to warrant the 3-1 lead. You know, we're creating bags of opportunities. We look good going forward. We got a presence. We got strikers scoring goals. You know, we just, as a team, over this weekend, we've got frailties defensively, and that's not just as a back four and a goalkeeper. It's as a team, and we've got to sort it out very, very quickly.
Looking to the positives then, after, you know, conceding in the first minute, the team did well to battle back and take the lead with 2 very, very well worked goals. I was very pleased with the way.
Yeah, again, like I say, some of the football, first half especially, was really good, and we look really good going forward, and we look a threat. We've got a bit of pace, we've got presence up there, we've got goals in us. But, you know, we wasn't open today. We didn't get opened up, but we're conceding far too many goals defensively, and that's not just, like I say, not just a back four and goalkeeper issue. It's a team issue, and we've got to do something to sort that out. You know, are we too open? Are we playing with 2 wingers and making us too open to the counter attack, or loose middle of the park? I don't think so today, because we played Jack Sherratt in a tight three with one outlet, so that gives us a little bit more solidity. And so we didn't get done that way. We've just got to find something within the team setup that makes us stronger defensively, so that we don't concede goals, obviously. And that's in the group, I'm sure it is, but we need to find it. We need to find it quickly.
Got Kids Grove in the cup now on Saturday. Obviously, a bit of a break from the leagues. A chance to try out some new things.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. I think these two games have been tough for us, especially today. Nantwich are a good side. They pass it well, and you'd expect them to be up there. And I think the weather today has taken it out of some of the lads that put in a shift on Saturday. But again, my hands were tied a little bit with illness and injury, and then obviously the two substitutions very early on. So, we looked at 3-3. We looked a little bit dead on our feet. I'm looking around at some of the lads that have played 90 today and 90 Saturday, and we looked a little bit leggy. So it probably will give us the opportunity Saturday to try and find that defensive unit to make us a little bit harder to beat or harder to score against, but also get some minutes into lads that that haven't played yet, possibly.
Okay, thanks for that.
All right.
Thank you.